Good morning. I've got a lot of my voice back this morning. I've been getting better from influenza A, and yesterday I couldn't hardly talk at all, but today I can talk some. So I want to get some coffee started, and then I'd like to share something interesting that I realized this morning. So this is almond milk, coconut milk blend. It's 40 calories per cup. This is my favorite. Oh, let me be careful here. My hands are a little slippery. I better hold it with two hands to pour it. It would not do to drop an almost full half-gallon of almond coconut milk. But yeah, this is my favorite kind of nut milk. I've decided I just really like the taste of it. Let me go ahead and put it back in the fridge here. It is really chilly out today. It's 43 degrees. Oh my goodness. But it's supposed to go up into the high 70s later. Okay, I haven't decided on a coffee yet this morning. But let me stop and tell you about what I was going to say. So when I turned my phone on this morning, I have the weather channel on my phone. Now, I used to have it on my TV, but I don't get cable or dish anymore. I use a Roku, so I don't have access to the weather channel. Oh, good morning, James and Sherry. So I listen to it sometimes on my phone. And they were talking about, I don't know, some kind of really bad weather. And the lady that was talking about it had a smile on her face and, a bit of an upbeat sort of way of expressing herself. And it was very engaging. It was very interesting to listen to this possible terrible weather that's coming to my area. And I realized as I listened to several little broadcast clips that they had, that especially when they have women doing it, that she's smiling or has a pleasant expression on her face and has an upbeat kind of voice and way of expressing herself. It's not like lots of times when men in particular are delivering some kind of news. Oh, hey, good morning, Laura. They have this downturned mouth and low voice, and the way they emphasize things and make pauses and all that in their talking, it can sound so serious and so, oh my goodness. But I like the way the ladies do it. And also, I remember there's this guy from the Weather Channel when we used to watch it years ago, even with our little kids. We didn't want them always watching cartoons and things like that. So sometimes we'd put on the Weather Channel. Oh, hey, Jessica, good morning. Because that was something that we could enjoy as a family. And it was interesting and educational. And, sometimes it was nice to have on in the background. And I remember, it was Jim Santori? A name very much like that. I don't remember his name. But he was so interested in the weather and whatever he was reporting. And he would have this excitement and energy about him and smiling. Even, if he was delivering this terrible news, so take shelter now because the tornado is 2 minutes away or whatever. But he would have an intensity, but it was positive. I don't know. I really think that that's what made it so nice and engaging to watch the Weather Channel. And that's why I like watching the little broadcasts on there now on my phone, because the people seemed so interested, the people that were, giving the reports. Oh, good morning, Roger. And it was like they were not making this declaration like, boom, this is it, this is terrible. But it was, this is happening, and there was like an interest of, what's going to come next. I don't know how to describe it. Have any of you noticed that? Yeah, the sun is going to come through today, isn't it? And we should be getting rainbows soon. Anyhow, so I realized that even if the Weather Channel is reporting, that there's possible tornadoes and hail and heavy rain and every type of bad weather that may be coming for the southeast today and tomorrow. They're doing it with a kind of a positive attitude. And I guess what I want to say is it's like an attitude of this is happening, but there's more to come, like life is going to go on. And compared to the news, where it's, oh, good morning, Ruth, where it's more like, this is happening. And it's very negative. So, one little comment about the news. If you're watching the news, have you noticed that this person is saying one thing and that person is saying another thing, and you don't know who to believe? Or maybe you find that it's almost like watching sports where you're thinking, yes, they're right, and these other people are wrong. You know what? When I was in college, I was the head of some environmental group or something in my college. This was the late 1960s, early 1970s, and I was interviewed several times for the local newspaper. And I found that every time I read an article, it really did not reflect or express what I said or what went on during the interview. And I realized it was like the reporter took down notes and wrote something. Then someone took it and edited it, perhaps so that it would be more what they thought it ought to be. And then someone else took it and edited it so it would fit in a certain amount of space in the newspaper. And anyway, by the time they got done with it, some of the articles I read, I thought, golly, was I even there? Who did they interview? There are other constraints on the news than just reporting exactly what happened. And, of course, exactly what happened, well, it kind of depends from whose point of view is it being reported, right? And then who's editing it. And they've got to fit it within a certain amount of time or space, right? So I would just like to suggest, oh, good morning, Phyllis. I'd like to suggest that perhaps if you are listening to the news, maybe listen once a week. You don't need to listen every day. For most things on the news, there is nothing that you can do to control those things that are going on. So maybe spend your time on being concerned about things you can control, like yourself. Think about that. So look, I need to make some coffee here. All right. I've already got milk in there. Oh, let's see here. All the pretty colors. You know what? I am going to make the Double Espresso Chiaro, which is a double espresso is 2.7 ounces. And the other day, I actually did a little experiment, to see, is that really how much comes out? And yes, by time all of the crema, that foamy stuff, by time all of that dissipates and liquefies again, you have 2.7 ounces. But because it foams up, while the coffee, by the process the coffee's being made, which is under pressure, in this case, the pressure is formed by spinning around at a very high speed, you end up having the oils in the coffee combine with air and make bubbles. So you end up with more than 2.7 ounces initially because some of that's foamed up and mixed up with air. So let me pop this in here. Now I am going to run this through, at least twice because I would like more coffee than just 2.7 ounces. Okay, oh, here we go. Come on, coffee. Yes. So let me show you this. Let me show you from the top. Here, from the top looking in. So see, it's already forming the crema, which is, again, the oils mixed with air, kind of bubbling all up. And the reason that you want to stir that in after the coffee's done brewing, isn't that pretty, is because that's where most of the flavor is, in the oils. Okay, and I'm going to give it one more push. Oh, I love watching this. I know you probably get tired of hearing me say that, because you never know how it's going to look. You never know where those little drops and rivulets are going to go. I love seeing the different layers of color. So you can see, look at all that crema that's forming. Ooh, I wonder if I could give it a third push. Now, giving it these extra pushes, you can see how pale that looks compared to when it first was coming out and it was a very dark color. Because most of the coffee has been pushed out of there already. You know what? I'm going to give it one more push. Hopefully it's not going to overflow. But if it starts to overflow, I can stop the machine. And really, so now, if you look at it, it's very pale. It's pretty much just water, coming out of there. A little bit of coffee left in there. But very, very dilute. So this is kind of like if I had just added hot water to the espresso. And the reason it's called double espresso is because it's just twice the amount of a regular 1.35 ounce espresso. I think we're going to be okay. I don't think there's no overflowing. Ooh, so pretty. Okay, and then oh yes, so I need to go get a spoon. Oh, I still haven't emptied the dishwasher out. Okay, and let's stir this up. So, if you think about it, hearing news of any kind, whether it's weather or other kinds of news or just information, being delivered with a positive, engaging kind of attitude and tone of voice can really make a difference as to how it makes you feel. Do you have something to say, Grayson? Are you ready to go outside? I think he is. I think I'm just going to get a couple of sips of coffee. Can I have a couple of sips of my coffee, boy? Is that okay? Huh? And then I'll have to sign off. Okay, we get ready to go out. He knows the key word, out. Okay, well, look, let me have a sip of my... I just spilled the coffee. When I went to pick it up, I knocked it. Oh, well. So, I'm gonna clean this up, and then I'll take Grayson out. Don't cry over spilled coffee, right? Stay positive today and make a choice to have positive input, not negative. And I say, God bless you. And Grayson says, let's go outside already.